Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we try to cut through the noise and get you the key insights fast. Today, we're digging into Montreal. We've got some fresh reports here from wikiresidence.ca and infodrone.ca, both just out this August 2065. Our goal, well, it's to unearth some maybe surprising facts, understand what really makes the city tick, and basically give you a shortcut to being well-informed. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how these different sources, when you put them together, they let us build a really comprehensive picture. We're not just listing facts, right? We're connecting the dots, trying to show you the community initiatives, those lifestyle trends that pop up, and the economic currents underneath it all. It's really about seeing Montreal from, multiple
Right.
angles.
And when you talk about what makes Montreal tick, I think you really have to start with that strong community spirit and how they tackle local challenges. Often it starts with something basic, like food.
Absolutely. There's this one really unique project, Le Regroupement Partage, out in Montreal's West Island. It's more than just a food bank. They actually grow organic vegetables right on city land, specifically to give away for free to families who need them. The scale is pretty remarkable. In 2024, they give out over 1 million servings.
Wow, 1 million servings. That's huge.
It really is. It's a fantastic example of like a community-driven circular economy for food.
That number, it really highlights the need, obviously, but also just the power of these local efforts. What sort of challenges do you think they hit scaling up like that? Logistics must be tricky.
Oh, for sure. I mean, success probably hinges on tons of volunteers, good city partnerships for the land. And it's not just them, It feels like part of a bigger green revolution happening, like Montreal en Com, that's the city-led smart cities project. They're focused on urban greenhouses, pooling resources, really trying to cut down food waste.
Okay, so greenhouses too.
Yeah, and then of course you've got the big players like Moisson Montreal redistributing massive amounts of food to, I think, over 300 community organizations.
So it feels like Montreal is really, I don't know, redefining its whole relationship with food, bringing farming right into the city. How does that change the city's identity, do you think?
I think it's reshaping it quite a bit. And building on that, the whole urban agriculture sector is just booming. Take the Montreal Cultures program run by the Urban Agriculture Lab. It's actively helping like over 55 urban farms get started or grow. They offer support, incubation, networking.
And these aren't just small plots, right?
No, exactly. We're talking rooftop gardens, mushroom farms, aquaponics, even beekeeping. It really shows a city that's innovating, looking towards self-sufficiency.
And it's not just about feeling good, it's actual economic impact. These reports show commercial urban ag represents over 55 businesses, 13% of jobs in the metro area. It's what, over a $9 million industry? Growing 30% a year in the number of businesses? That's serious growth.
Yeah, and you see these really innovative sectors popping up: insect farming, microgreens, advanced indoor farms. It's definitely more than just a trend.
Okay, shifting slightly, but still on community support. I was really struck by the scale of Montreal's community center network. 45 centers across the city. Here's where it gets really interesting. What makes that network so effective?
Well, what's insightful, I think, is that it's not just about services. This network, it feels like a core part of Montreal's maybe civic resilience. I mean, 2.5 million visits a year, that's not just a statistic. It points to really engaged citizens, and it's a decentralized way to tackle things like senior isolation, youth mental health, helping newcomers integrate all right at the neighborhood level.
So building the safety net from the ground up, kind of.
Exactly. Empowering communities in a way you maybe don't see in every big city.
Okay, so we've seen how Montreal nurtures its communities. Let's switch gears now to how people move, how they enjoy the city. Montreal, yeah, it's got those famous winters, but summer, it really comes alive. Lots of active lifestyles, leisure stuff going on.
Oh, definitely. And one really fascinating trend the sources highlighted is Montreal on roller skates. Apparently, it's moved beyond just, a fun activity. It's become a real way of life, adding to the city's whole vibe. The city already has, over 500 kilometers of bike paths, and skaters in line, quads, are using them more and more.
Huh, roller skating? I always think festivals, terraces, but this skating thing paints a different picture. Is it maybe about reclaiming public space for fun?
I think so. The enthusiasm is there. They even have dedicated events like the Montreal Cup that literally turn streets into skate parks. And you see specialized shops, skating schools for urban, slalom, dance styles popping up in places like Hochelaga, Maisonneuve. It creates this whole accessible culture.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it definitely connects to the big jump we've seen in just regular bike use, too. The numbers are pretty striking. 11% of downtown trips by bike. That's up from 6% in 2018. That's a big shift. And even more, like, the share of workers biking to work doubled between 2018 and 2023, from 2.1% to 4.1%.
And the infrastructure's there to support it, right? Over 1,000 kilometers in the network, almost 3/4 usable all year round. And those specific numbers for the RV Saint-Denis, like that 21% jump at Rue Richel compared to last year,
Yeah.
that shows these dedicated lanes really work.
Yeah, huge increase there.
People will switch if you give them good options. And the market shows it too. Bike and accessory sales, up over 60% in 15 years, hitting like $565 million annually.
Okay, and then there's something really unique I found. How Montrealers are reconnecting with the water. Urban young sailors, Jeunes Marins, Urbans, JMU. Since 2015, they've been using the St. Lawrence River as this space for like meeting, learning, like promoting artisanal boating and free loans of non-motorized gear.
Right. And they did something new in 2025. The Zone d'Entraide Maritime, the ZEM. It's basically a collaborative space where people can just borrow paddleboards, skiffs, sailing oars for free. It covers a 4-kilometer stretch of the St. Lawrence between Montreal Island and Ile Sainte-Thérèse, accessible from 4 spots in RDP Pattee-Borough. This raises an important question, I think. How do initiatives like this foster not just recreation, but maybe a deeper ecological connection, community engagement with nature?
It really feels like it, like a real embrace of their, aquatic backyard. And speaking of water, you can't talk Montreal summer without mentioning the pools and beaches, the aquatic treasures. Greater Montreal is kind of an aquatic paradise, really. Easy access, often free.
The numbers are wild. On the island alone, 77 outdoor pools, 95 wading pools, 150 splash pads. The city of Montreal itself has over 60 outdoor pools, 80 wading pools, hundreds of splash pads, plus indoor pools year-round. Some pools in nearby areas can handle like 300 swimmers a day. It shows how vital these places are in the summer.
Okay, so we've got community building, vibrant lifestyles. But what's driving the economy behind all this? And what are the pressure points? Let's turn to the city's financial side, starting with, well, housing, always a big topic.
Yeah, and the July 2025 JLR report showed a really dynamic market. Strong growth in sales, median prices. But the standout trend, nearly a 40% jump in sales for Ingri properties, those 2 to 5 unit buildings compared to last year. That's significant.
Wow, 40%. What does that suggest? More investors?
Yeah.
Or people looking for multifamily options?
Could be both, really. Single-family homes and condos also saw sales growth, 12% in the CMA, 22% in the wider admin region. Prices up 8-9% too. Condos, though, were a bit more mixed. Sales actually dipped 5% in the admin region, although prices still edged up like 2-3%.
So, growth, but maybe uneven. Which makes you wonder about affordability, especially for renters. We did find some data on the cheapest rentals in Montreal in 2025 for a 312 typical one-bedroom. The most affordable spots. Montreal North, around $1,150, or RDP just a bit more, at $1,166. Then a Honda Cartierville, $1,435. St. Leonard, $1,520. Villeray Saint-Michel Park Extension, $1,620. What's also interesting is even with the market buzz, there are still 11 neighborhoods where rents for those units are under $2,000.
Right. Now, for something that maybe flies under the radar as an economic driver, hip-hop, yeah, it was seen as marginal counterculture for a long time, right? But the Montreal scene has actually become this, like, pillar of the creative economy and a vehicle for cultural integration, too. Its energy isn't just in one spot like Hochelaga anymore. It's spread across the whole metro region.
So not just music, but a whole hip-hop ecosystem, as the sources call it.
Exactly. Think recording studios, concert promoters, clothing shops, graffiti galleries, dance schools, the whole package. It's a much bigger economic engine than you might think.
Okay, got it. So what kind of reach are we talking?
Well, get this. The Montreal metro area accounts for 70% of all music streaming in Quebec. 70%. And within Montreal City, R&B, hip-hop, and rap make up 25% of listens. That's a huge audience base. Then you add in the shows, festivals, events, generating millions in economic benefits, boosting tourism. Think about the urban music fests in Laval, or big names like Nas playing the Jazz Fest. What's fascinating here is just the depth of the economic impact. A cultural movement turned into a major economic force.
So what does this all mean when you put it together? We've seen everything from grassroots urban farms building resilience to people reclaiming streets on roller skates, embracing the river, and this surprisingly powerful hip-hop economy. It paints a picture of Montreal as, well, really dynamic, incredibly community-focused, and just genuinely innovative, doesn't it? Hopefully, this deep dive gives you that valuable shortcut to understanding the city's unique character.
It really does. And it highlights how a city's true vibrancy often lies where different things intersect, Things that might seem separate, like accessible urban farms and a booming skate scene and this influential music industry. But together, they create this unique sense of place, this quality of life. It makes you think, doesn't it, about all the layers of activity maybe hidden just beneath the surface in any big city just waiting to be understood.